Our guest today is a global consultant, a former professional basketball player, and a driving force behind two platforms that are transforming lives across Africa, Europe, and the United States. His journey started in Michigan State University, where he was part of the 2000 NCAA National Championship team, and from there, he has been going on and on. He played professionally when it comes to basketball across Europe for over a decade. He also proudly represented Nigeria at the 2006 FIBA World Championships in Japan. His name, Aloysius Anagonye. He is not just building companies, he's building communities, championing equity, and also mentoring the next generation of leaders through the power of sport. Aloysius, it's a pleasure to have you join us on In the Game today.
Thank you so much for having me here today.
It's great to have you. I'm very sure I did justice to your name.
I'm still learning how to say my own name.
You're learning how to say your name, okay?
Yeah, so,
well, as a typical Igbo girl, I would say it's Aloysius Anagonye.
Okay, then I would take that.
Please take it. All right, take it, because I'm from the roots.
Okay.
So great to have you join us on In the Game. I know it's been a ride for you, from sports to wellness to youth empowerment to community development, just for Africa. And with your wealth of experience, what does wellness mean to you as an athlete, former athlete?
Before we get into that, you know, this trip personally has been a deep personal one.
How deep?
You know, this trip started off with the death of my father, bring him back. And that really helped me understand why I'm here, understand his legacy, understand what he meant to us when it came to education, when it came to wisdom, when it came to, you know, understanding what to give back in service to the people. So you asked me a question about what does health and wellness mean to me. I think it starts off with that, understanding the people around you and taking the, you know, time to appreciate that. Next, understanding what God blessed you with, and that's your body, mind, and soul. And being able to say, you know what, every day I'm going to go out there and I'm going to, you know, perform it to the best. And the first thing is do, get it moving. Walk, go for a walk. As simple as a walk is meant for health. Knowing what to eat, knowing when to go out and take a breather, and mental capacity, being easy and not stressing about things that doesn't bother you. Shouldn't bother you, I should say.
I would say I'm giving you a fight of flowers for, you know, that initiative, that main mandate for you to come home and come give back. That's a great one from your dad. And the fact that every single person believes that only sport people should be involved with wellness. But it's a general thing. It's something you should do at your daily life in order to have to live well. So I would love to know. You're already looking it already. You look so fit. You look, you know, well built and all that. And I can see the dividend of being intentional with your health and wellness. So how do we make athletes of today? How do they prioritize wellness into their regimen?
So starts off at home. Everything always starts with home. I think in today's society, we're kind of consumed by overconsumption. And we have to be aware of that. Too much of anything is not good for you. Even too much water is not good for you. So really understanding how much you should be eating, how much you should be drinking, when you should eat, when you should drink, but then also what you consume in your head, what you listen to on a daily basis. I think that's something that it happens. And finally, the ability to kind of understand this third form of spiritual and enlightenment. So taking time to help somebody else every day is part of the health journey. You got to be, you can't just think just your body and not give to somebody and your spirit doesn't have health. So that's also the third one. And the last one, those who think health and fitness is just for the poor, remember, health is wealth. And the more healthy I am, the more wealthy I am.
Yes, of course, the more healthier you are, the more wealthier you are. I love that line and I'll take it home with me. But transitioning from the court down to the boardroom, because I'm looking at pictures and I can see that you were a very, very wonderful athlete. I know then a lot would have been like crushing over you. They could have been. This is good, buddy. Good. You're fit. I can see it already, and I'm sure you were turning up numbers, your playing days.
So I was more a role player. I was a super role player. I did what it took to win. All I wanted to do was win. Went to a team. Every team I ever went to, I talked to the team. I'd say, look, if you want a winner, you got me. You got it. If you want to win that season, you got to get me. That's why my customer went up.
Of course, it will go up indeed, but I really need to know that transitioning from the courts down to the boardroom. What's the turning point for you, Aloysius?
I started again. Everything's always going to start from home, but also the people you kind of gather around you, great mentors. I was lucky to have really great coaches, assistant coaches who were businessmen, and I saw that my best friend's father is a businessman. Those kind of men around me kind of shaped who I was. So mentorship was a big push towards where I wanted to be in the next part of my life. Next is, we have a saying, proper preparation prevents poor performance. And that means understanding that what you do today may not pay dividends today, but it's preparing for what you did in the future. And I tell people going to school is important, it's paramount. You play basketball all your life, and one day you twist the ankle, you break your ankle, and it's over. And it did happen to me. I had
What happens next?
What happens next? And I was prepared. I had mentors around me, and I was able to jump into consulting, and my consultantship was focused on leadership.
I'm very happy that we're using sport right now as a tool, but I would love to hear from you. How are you using sport as a tool for wellness and also for the workforce development?
Okay, so we have to understand, especially in Nigeria and Africa, we're in a turning point. We're in a turning point where the next wave of so-called investment in Africa is happening, and we have to take advantage of it. Well, being one of the youngest or the youngest continent in this whole world, sports is an industry. It's not just about games. It's not just about fun. Sports can be, you can create jobs, you can create systems, and that takes a lot of initiatives. And initiatives got to go from government initiatives, got to go to private sector initiatives, and you also got to go into investments and safety, and all that has to come together. If we can see that and do it the right way, and we take advantage of it, Nigeria can not just turn into a talent pool where a lot of Nigerians, in every team you will find a Nigerian descent player. From talent to now we're taking to development in our industry development. So I think we first have to reform the way we think about sports, not as a game, but as an industry.
Okay, now you just brought Nigeria to this conversation, and I'd like to know how your evaluation of the state of basketball in Nigeria, both in the grassroots level and the professional level. What's your take on that, your evaluation?
As somebody who played on a national team and proudly played there, I believe that we are in the point where we can start the conversation and tell our story from now. I'm not going to talk about what happened before.
So we should just let bygones be bygones?
Let's let bygones be bygones. Let's start what we can do today. And the first thing I tell people, grassroots basketball, sports, the idea of sports needs to be kind of reformed in people's minds. So the new conversation, the new stories, talking about old players from before and talking about what they did and what their lives are like now. So bringing old players back. Next is integrating youth development in a sense of belonging. You know, not just somebody who participate and leave. Parents got to be part of the system. The coaches got to be part of the system. And the last one is training the trainer. And that's what we do well, is training the next generation of coaches and not just coaches. We're talking about administration, management system, people who can take care of stadiums. Those are the next step. And then the infrastructure is going to have to be built. And that takes investments from all over, not just diaspora, not just big money men here, or not just government. It takes everybody. It takes a little bit. Even the parents got to invest too. So those are the steps I think they have to take. And then remember, sports is entertainment. You got to enjoy it. And we have to turn that into an entertainment system, just like any music, like we did for Nollywood, and what we're doing for Nollywood and what we did for Afrobeats.
Afrobeats, we're already dominating when it comes to that, but we're not dominating in basketball. And a typical Nigerian, when you say bygone, let bygone be bygone, no, we do not forgive, because every single decision, wrong decisions that have been made have affected a player, affected a particular growth of a player in one way or the other. Now, we could see how the state of the national team is. The D Tigers are not the same stronghold they used to be before. Only the women we can be proud of. Oh, give it to the women. We give them their flowers.
I definitely give the flowers to the women. I'm very proud of what they are doing, but also we understand that we need to support them as much as we say we're proud of. Let's put our money where our mouth is. Our company is into action. You know, I'm into action. So words means it's feel good, but actions keep going. So one of the things I tell people is like, what are you giving back to the system? And the system itself is not just who's giving you or what's the outcome, it's what you're developing.
But what is the biggest roadblock that can hinder an athlete? And what do you think stakeholders should be doing to take action now?
Mindset. I'm going to go right into mindset.
Straight to the point.
Right to the same mindset. What's the difference between one player making to the NBA and not making the NBA? It's just the type of preparation in their mind and what they believe.
You don't think enabling environment?
That does happen. But mindset, when it comes in, I start with the player, but that means mindset for the leader, mindset for everybody. And the mindset has to change in Nigeria about when it comes to sports. That's the first thing. Second, leadership understands that, you know, what we are doing here is how we can better the people in the long run, not how we can better the people today. So they're going to be, and that's part of the whole mindset
So
change.
a long-term goal?
Yeah, a long-term goal. So that's another thing. Next thing is, I think in my particular aspects is, who can we draw to support each other? I'm coming from the U.S. There's a lot of people who want to come into Nigeria. So how do we draw those individuals to come to Nigeria and have a place where they can build this? It's the best kings in the world, the best leaders in the world always has sent people away so they can go out and get information and bring it back home. And I think it's time for Nigeria to do that.
Do you think Nigerian basketball or basketball in Nigeria, do you think is sustainable for young Nigerians who are interested in the sport?
Not at the moment. Not at the moment.
Straight like that?
Not in the moment. Because investments need to be made. I think maybe I'm talking about not the individual player. I'm talking about the whole system. Let me just go back. The individual player, we have enough talent. That's what we've been doing a lot. We've been focused on getting talent to leave. You know,
the system is pushing them out too early.
Too early. But we need to have this things on the ground right now, and that's what I have to talk about, my action on the ground. What can we do to here? My dream for this is a young player builds his career here, then he or she is founded from a higher league, which has more potential to make earning for their family. And as you get older, we build our leagues out here. So when that person earning potential has dropped enough, he or she can come back, play his last few years here at home where he started, and then restart and become an entrepreneur and give him back. We have, that's a system. That's a lot of system in a lot of countries where a lot of they come back, they play up their last few years, reconnect with their community, the investments they got from other places, now they can do it in the community at home. So there has to be a system, there has to be an outline for that, and that's the dream, that's the hope, and that's the wish of what we all should be doing.
All right, we've seen a lot of young players. Of course, they have this desire to move out of the country, go to the NCAA, get to play, get the exposure that they need so they can at least hit something in the NBA. But we're not oblivious of the unseen challenges that these athletes can face.
Oh.
Of course, yes, you can see that reaction from you.
So
I know it's something.
it's something I think we
Yes.
kind of push under the rug.
Yes.
And
Just share with us. You've played in the NCAA before.
So the NCAA is totally different from now when I was playing back then.
Okay.
One, they have the NIL, which allows them to pay, but that means they have more pressures. So you got a young player, 17, 18 years old, leaves their country, their people, their language, food, and go to a new place where there's nobody that really knows them, care about them when it comes to a personal level. It's only for what they can do on the basketball court, and primary, they are there to get good grades. So they're always on what they can do, he or she. So that's a lot of pressure. They got pressure at home, worried about what they're doing, being away, and at that time, you don't know yourself. 17, 18, you don't know yourself. You're unsure about yourself. You're unsure about where life is going to take you, and everything's so questionable. So you're always trying to find your way. That has a lot of pressure on the individual. Second of all is the what if. The what if factor. What if I'm not good enough? What if I'm not? So your self-esteem is not there. It's not intact. And if you know anything about sports, confidence makes a big difference. And in the end, it affects he or she player. So I'm lucky that I'm in Nigeria. We are very proud people. We know how to break the barriers, but that's the kind of things that a lot of these people, players, young people have to deal with when they go overseas.
So how do we prepare the young ones who plan to play, travel, go have a taste of collegiate basketball, have this desire, they want to explore, they want to get this exposure? How do we better prepare them? You just mentioned a lot, and I can relate, because I've been in spaces where I have to find my rhythm, I have to find myself, that I have to announce myself and say that I can do this. I'm not less than what you think I am. So how do we prepare young athletes, young basketballers who have the desire to play in the NCAA?
So that also, I'm going to say it always, starts at a young age. It starts at 13, 14 years old. And the whole mindset of sports has to change, where parents are not just thinking about them. A sport is just to have a good time. At 12, 13, you go out there, you encourage them to get the lessons of sports as well too, not just to fitness or to have fun. The lessons of sports, team play, how to build. So now when they get to 17, those lessons have been instilled, so they don't have to
From a very young age.
At a very young age. So again, it goes back to mindsets. We are doing initiatives right now when it comes to walks with kids, and there's going to be one on Saturday.
Okay, that's tomorrow?
Saturday, 17. Saturday, yeah, 17.
Oh, okay.
Coe Bridge, we're going with the International Day of Child Boys, and we're talking about mentorship with young boys and what they want from life, and we start at a very young age, and from there walking, we are talking, we sit down, we have a drinks, everybody's invited to come, bring a boy. And every time we do initiatives, it's just so we can build the community as much.
All right, let's talk NBA right now. It's been a dramatic season indeed. You would agree with me. The playoffs is coming with a bit of surprises. Did you expect to see the teams you're seeing right now, even with those that are still battling in the East and Western Conference?
No. I had my eyes on. I like the Lakers was doing, but obviously the Lakers was out. I was part of the Lakers organization for the development team years back, so I have a little fun. Have
a soft spot for them.
A soft spot for them, but they're gone. Obviously, I was hoping that Dallas was going to be there, but they're gone. So a lot of things had shaped differently on my end, but I think it's better for the sports itself, that unpredictableness, and that needs to come back to sports. And I think that's going to be more exciting. People want to watch more, and then hopefully we can get some more Nigerian guys on teams, so we can our country can really follow more.
So what lessons can young African players draw from these playoffs in the NBA? We've seen young players knock out Lakers. They were dealt a blow. Very young player, very uprising player that they never saw coming. So what lessons can young ones learn from this playoff?
the idea that their time is now and take advantage of every moment, every single moment. You never know when you can get another moment like this. So I think the young players in the NBA is starting to do that. You can see Edwards, the way he's playing, and you can say the way everybody's energy around the younger players is. I guess the NBA is really looking out for who's the next rising star for them.
All right, let's talk Africans in the NBA. Are there any African players in the NBA that you see will be a big promise and they will be a big bang for the next generation?
There are a few. There are a few. I'm gonna give a shout out to Giannis. I'm gonna do that. I know he's supposed to be Greek, but that's our guy indirectly. But that's our guy. I see him doing great things. Continue to do great things. When it comes to NBA players, there are a lot of young. Victor's doing good. I'm not talking about the French guy, but I'm talking about Victor from the Lakers, the shooters. I was hoping he was going to play better this year, but I still think he has a chance. There are other young guys. I think next year is going to be an interesting year when it comes to who's going to be next.
All right, I'll be waiting. But before I wait for next year, I'm sure that you're going to be surprised at who the champions will be for this season, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm surprised about Indiana. I'm sorry, Indiana Pacers fans. They look good. They just knocked out somebody I thought was going to win the East. So we just watch and see who's next.
That's how the Shockers come in basketball, and that's why we love it. We have been speaking, of course, to Aloysius Anagonye. He, of course, is one who is into wellness. Former player professionally in the NCAA collegiate level and also professionally. He also is a businessman into wellness, habit wellness initiative, and will be championing a course in order to shape basketball, shape young ones to have the interest in sport, wellness, and healthy living. And I'm so glad to have you on the show today. It's been an interesting conversation with you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
And you have my support all the way. You know, just for the fact that you're working on shaping the future, of course, you've got my support. You've got New Central support too. That's what we want to do. We want to be able to reshape, make the future, learn, unlearn, and relearn, so we can have a better and a brighter future where we do not have all these problems. Like you said, let bygone be bygone, isn't it?
Yep, well put, well put.
Thank you so much for joining me on In the Game today.
Thank you.